As a creative strategist, one of the most challenging part of the job is constantly having new concepts to test, right? Net new concepts to test for meta ads. Because as you know, Meta AI nowadays is looking for more creative diversity. And the more diversity you have for your ads, the more the ads are going to perform. So how do you actually go about in coming up with net new concepts that other competitors have not tested yet? So this n8n build actually solves that problem, and it solves it perpetually, or I should say indefinitely. Let me break this down. So how this works is that this n8n flow goes into TikTok and it looks for the recently viral or really popular videos around your topic by low follower count creators. The reason why this is important is because low follower count creators that create videos that get high engagement are likely to have videos that are actually very interesting instead of videos by, let's say, these large creators, which the videos might go viral because they are, well, large creators. A little bit of context. So I'm doing this for a hair product company, actually my company. So the products are gentle ingredient products, and I am creating a new campaign for guys that have just gone through hair transplant and they're looking for some sort of a styler that is gentle for their hair. So I'm looking for net new concepts for this segment. Let me break down the flow now. So first thing is you will want to do a little bit of research on your field for some high level queries. So in this case, I have hair transplant, glow up men, men after hair transplant, so on and so forth. I have about 29 of these queries. So what's going to happen at this point is going into the flow is that the fields are going to be pulled. And let me actually just run this for a sec. So I just did one run and I'm going to walk you through what happened. The output is basically something that looks like this. So I have this hook transcript and then I also have the key phrases that I can use. So as you can see, this is talking about post-op. So this is kind of like a keyword that I get to use. And something about young hair and it's gotten thicker and mature. So these are all concepts that I could, or at least key phrases that I could use for new concepts. So I don't know anything about the hair repair serum spray, so something I can look into. And they also talk about minoxidil and finasteride. And these are hair regrowth products or drugs that people often use. So here's another concept that could be used here. You can't actually tell I had a hair transplant done. So that's another concept to use. And then swelling and itchy might be an issue that I can touch up on and feel like a different person. These are all concepts that I get to use. So there's a bunch of these that I can look into, right? So let me break down what happened here. So first thing is we pulled the information from the console. So pull the first line. And then it went into the actual research stage. And for this next part, we basically called on a third-party app that went into TikTok to scrape for this first query. So men after hair transplant, and got me 30 items here, or a bunch of different results. So I think 30 items. From there, we went into a filter node where we filtered out all the videos that are 100 days or older or has less than 10K views, or the follower count is more than 10 or 100,000. Because remember, we're looking for content from creators that are small. And then the next step is to get the transcript from these different videos that have gone viral or are becoming really popular. We then simplified the fields so the data is easy to process. And then we filter out the non-talking videos because, of course, we want only videos with message that we can actually use. And then we just went ahead and cleaned up the transcript. So it went from something like this into something clean. And then this next part's a little bit tricky. Basically, sometimes the videos are not actually exactly aligned with our topic. So we want to use an agent node here to determine whether or not the content is actually related to hair. So I have this prompt here just to determine whether or not the script itself is related to the topic at hand. And if it is not, then it will get filtered out at this next stage. So from there, we go into analysis. So with this AI agent node, prompt basically dictates that the script will be analyzed and a hook will be extracted from the transcript. And then also, agent will determine 3 key phrases from the script that are likely to show understanding of the target customer, and also come up with some additional ideas for how these hooks or these new concepts can transition into a pitch. And then from there, all we do is we feed it back into the database. So it shows up like this. So that is only one query. And then we come right back and we go into the next query, and then we do the exact same thing. So once this goes through all 29 of these queries, then we get the database. And from there, we can actually go down to this part where we sync it up with an AI agent and we get to talk to it. So if we open up the chat, we can just ask, what are some new concepts that I can use for advertising? List out the concepts. So this basically goes into the database right here, and it pulls out the concepts that we get to use. Okay, so post-op progress. All right, so that could be something that we could use. This next one is interesting because this one I would not have noticed before. So it talks about natural light reveal. I think what this is saying is that under natural light, the hair won't look thin and the scalp won't show through. So that's another concept that I can, it's basically a moment in time concept I get to use. And then hat necessity. So I think a lot of them wear hats after transplant because they look really bad after transplant. So I get to use that as a concept as well. So different life stages. So there are many different things, and I can just reprompt to get it to come back into the database to pull out more of these concepts. And if I want to automate this, what I could do is I can just put it on a scheduler. So let's say every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, it runs through this flow and it just updates the database and pulls more recently viral or popular TikToks around this topic, and it fills out the database. So this allows me to have a constant stream of new concepts to test. And that is pretty much it for this workflow. And if this is interesting to you, just let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do a full tutorial for the build out.